¿Cómo están? It's Well Done Tuesday, guys. Thank you for joining my channel. This is the Neutral Zone, and we have, of course, Hollywood from Insane Throttle, Biker News, and we got our special guest, Alien Ness. What is the 415 I see down there? Is that your area code, obviously?
31, DO.
Oh, dirty. Duh, I'm stupid as hell.
415. 15.
Yeah. Mikey's going to kill me now.
You done already screwed up like a black dragon already.
Yeah, no, at least my shit played, but now, whatever. That's what we do. So thank you for coming on the show. Ness.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, I loved our interview we did for Man Behind the Pad, so it was great having you on. People really enjoyed that video. So, yeah, go ahead. If you want to introduce yourself rather than me saying a lot of stuff and maybe messing up again.
It's hard to do that without sounding like an egotistical bastard. First, I just want to say thank you for having me. You know what I'm saying? Again, with you and of course Hollywood. I've watched them a few times. It's a blessing and honor to be able to build with you brothers and do whatever it is we're doing here.
Rock on, man. So you're kind of a legend, man. You got a documentary and everything coming up, huh?
Yeah, I don't really like the word legends. Legends don't exist. but I got a documentary. Well, it's actually part of a whole series. You know what I'm saying? And it's in the makes. It's pretty good. I think the first 4 episodes alone are incredible. You know what I'm saying? If you're into hip hop and all that stuff. And yeah, that's it. I mean, I've done a whole bunch of other stuff related to dance and not always dance. I haven't really danced in ages. I competing long time ago. Like I competed it not too long ago just to be able to say I did it at 50, but I wasn't really looking for a win. I was just looking for the rights. But I'm still doing a lot of other things besides the documentary. I still teach. I still judge a lot of contests, do the college lectures, working on my second book.
Now, were you doing hip hop from the 80s, all that breakdancing phase and all that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Started. Well, I did not kind of like, I was raised in it, but I really started dancing in the 80s. Looking up to the brothers that were doing it in the 70s.
How's the dance different from, now from then, man? These kids can do some crazy stuff now.
Athletic, like back in my days, it was just about bragging rights. And yeah, I know, I hear it too. But yeah, back in my days, it was more like bragging rights and to get girls and stuff like that. Now it's a full-blown sport. It's going to the Olympics in 2024. You know what I'm saying? This is nowadays athletes in their own right.
Are you getting feedback?
Are you getting feedback next?
No, I don't hear it.
Okay.
I was gonna say, what was that kung fu movie?
Oh, it's playing now. It's called Iron Fist and Kung Fu Kicks on Netflix, and it's a documentary based on, the old kung fu movies we all grew up with, and its effect on pop culture. Those movies have inspired everything from rap music to our dance. A lot of the things I did in dance was based on what I see in the martial movies, and parkour and all type of stuff influenced by those movies. So it was a real blessing to be part of that movie, that project. Even bigger blessing when I seen it, because I was only booked in the breaking part of it, which was probably about 5 minutes in the movie, but I gave them a hell of an interview from beginning to end, and that was a blessing as well.
You talking about the old kung fu movies, man, where they do something and you'll hear them speak English about 2 minutes later?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And of course, the Bruce Lee movies, the David Carradine series, all the way up to like all the American-made movies with Chuck Norris and Van Damme and, things like that.
Rock on.
One of the things, Hollywood, man, this guy is like a huge boxing fan. You got a show around your room there, Ness.
Oh, great!
Actually, I have a mess today, but I got a pretty good collection, and I've managed to get some pieces since the last time we spoke. I got Amanda Serrano's gloves. I got her hand wraps. These gloves, she actually wore them in a fight, and her hand wraps I have were I could reach for those. These were the hand wraps she actually used when she won her first title, the IBF. You know, I got
we about to get jiggy with it now, man. I'm huge boxing. I can't stand UFC, but I love boxing. Best heavyweight of all time.
Yeah, I have oh, is that a question?
Yeah, that's a question. Best heavyweight of all time.
Best heavyweight of all time? It gotta be Ali.
He had style. He had style. What about Marciano?
I was gonna say everybody would say Rocky Marciano. He was like 5'10", if that. Probably not even a real heavyweight, but he was.
That. But he had that
was
hook.
Amazing. Yeah. Incredible, man.
What do you think about Floyd?
Oh, Floyd Patterson is a G, man. You know, he inspired Ali. You know what I'm saying?
Or you mean Floyd Mayweather?
Oh, you talk about Floyd Mayweather?
No, Patterson.
Okay, Patterson.
Yeah,
okay,
sure. Yeah. Usually when a boxing fan says Floyd, I'm assuming they talk about Patterson.
We can already tell you don't know what you're talking about, Wild On.
I don't know about Hollywood. That's why. He likes midget boxing and midget porn boxing.
Yeah, but Hollywood, like I said, I got a pretty much furniture around and got sick with all this, you know. I'm allergic to dust. But I got just going around the room, I got signed gloves for Manny Pacquiao and Triple G, Keith Thurman and Sean Porter. I have a pretty decent collection, man. I got, if you see Sugar signed up there.
What did you think about that fight when Tyson exacted revenge on Holmes for what he did to Ali?
That was amazing. I was at my seat, being a Ali fan and a fan of Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? And to see Ali tell Tyson, get him before the fight, I already knew it was going to be over fast.
Man, I'd talk all day with him about boxing. How about what bike you got, man?
Excuse me?
I said I'd talk boxing with you all night, man, because I'm huge boxing. Like I said, I'm not into that UFC stuff. But what kind of bike you got?
Me neither. 1988 Garage Build Sportster Death Trap XLH 1200.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Well, all they're in the Bronx. They go like a block at a time, so you don't need.
Yeah. And I, you know, just growing up, like looking at Easy Rider magazine, you know, that was in heavy circulation in my because as an only child, my mother was in everything. I'm getting the echo again, but my mother everywhere, so it was hard for me to bring like porno rags into the house. So Easy Rider magazine, she just saw motorcycles, but inside she didn't see women flashing. But just growing up on that, I've always liked the chop look, the garage built look. You know what I'm saying? Custom. I don't think I could see myself on something that looks like I just wrote it off a showroom.
Like Hollywood's gonna get a gold wing, man. He's gonna chop that.
Well, you know what, Ness? You said something right there about the sporty, and one of the reasons why I had a sporty, I had a lot of them, is because I was in Chicago, and they're easier to maneuver on the streets down in the traffic.
Yeah. Especially when you're in the city.
You don't have to worry about no windshields like wind semi trucks or.
Well, one time I drove in November from Austin, Texas, to Houston, and I was freezing my ass off.
Like me today, Hollywood's laughing at me. Well, no, it was 34 degrees. I did a 4-hour total ride, but I wasn't cold. My hands were cold.
Yeah.
That's what he says now.
My hands were. My old lady was in the back with her hands around, kept other things warm. But
Yeah,
my hands.
I'm not with. I miss the Texas weather, riding weather all year, the smooth roads, and some sort of motorcycle awareness on the roads. That helps. You know what I'm saying? Texas is really big on motorcycle awareness. At least in Austin, it is. So I kind of miss that. In New York, people drive crazy.
No, they don't even pay attention to you in the cities. I know how that is in
Yeah,
Chicago. It
right.
is crazy out there in the cities. What do you think of since you got the old school sporty, what do you think of this new garbage they came out with the 2022? Looks like a
The new
hybrid
Sportster.
between yeah.
If it wasn't for the muffler, I'd love the bike.
Yeah,
I
you
just
like the
don't like the. I
hybrid?
just don't like. I did. No, no, no. I thought you were talking about the new Sportster, the
Yeah,
the the
the
1200S.
the new one with it looks like it had sex with the V-Rod.
Yeah, I I I like the options on it. You know, the riding options. You know, you got sport
Right.
mode, you got cruising mode, you got rain mode. You know, and I kind of like that. And being that it's integrated with like the Bluetooth and the helmets and all that, I think that would be nice. But things like that just wouldn't work on my or with me.
That old school sporty, there's just so much soul to them. The
Hmm.
older 80s 90 sporties, lots of soul. You to do a lot with them.
Yeah, you could do so much more with them. Like my bike is a skull theme, so like I've done so much with it. I added so much skulls. Like it's always breaking down on me. My brothers get mad at me, get rid of her, get something new. But that's my baby.
So you carry a lot
When
of toolkits with you.
no, not at all. Actually, I keep a triple membership.
I was gonna say,
There you
I know you talk. I know we talked before, but when did you start writing? From because back
uh,
in the day, going from b-boy to writing to
20. So I went like after a few years of hanging out in the scene, you know what I mean? I got my bike in 2013. I didn't even know how to ride a motorcycle, so I kind of like taught myself on the bike, and learned pretty much enough to get there. But once I got to Texas and had to get my driver's license and stuff, in Texas they make you take the course,
yeah,
and I did that because you learn so much more, I'm saying, than just learning on your own or from YouTube like I did or from a friend.
yeah.
And
You just
and
don't
it
know
also
better when you learn on your own.
and it also lowers your insurance when you got that course locked down. If you could show you finished that course, it lowers your insurance. So insurance in New York is crazy.
I bet it is,
Oh,
man.
I can imagine.
Mhm.
So how was it moving from Austin back up to NY and having to deal with the different traffic patterns on the bike?
Well, when living in I wasn't really riding in traffic. I had just gotten my bike. I was on a crazy tour, so I probably saw my bike every like 2 weeks, and I practiced a really more parking garage. And then when I moved to Texas, it was easier because I lived right across the street from Austin Community Center, and they had that huge parking lot, so I was able to do a little more. You know what I'm saying? But I started in 2013. Same year I got my first bike. I learned on my bike.
That
Midlife
is
crisis,
awesome.
I guess.
And
How many times?
and what did it feel when you started riding like side by side, suicide style with the club?
Man, honestly, it was amazing. It was powerful, especially because I prospect. And as a prospect, you in the back and you get like the best view in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's just amazing.
Were you nervous when you got with the pack in the beginning? When you first got side by side with someone, were you nervous
Hmm.
or because about trust? Right, you got to trust the
Uh,
person next to
well,
you.
well, we really don't ride side by side. We ride staggered.
Oh,
You know
okay,
what I'm saying? So it makes it a little easier, makes it a lot safer, especially in New York. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, they'll run over you in New York, man.
hmm
they'll run right over you in NYC.
Yeah, yeah, and probably keep going. And
Yeah,
then the roads are so horrible in New York. It's crazy. I miss just being, put my hand on my lap and cruise for a couple, 20, 30 miles and whatnot. I can't do that.
so you never thought about upgrading her, huh?
Yeah, I'm upgrading really soon. I'm torn between a Dyna and an Indian, but most likely go with the Dyna.
Yeah, I got a Dyna. I got a 2015, man. Get it. They're beautiful.
Yeah,
I got the 103. I love the damn thing. It
yeah,
has
yeah,
it has the feel of a sporty, I guess you can say, but it has that power underneath you.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I also like the Street Bob. I've ridden that. That's one of the Dyna was fun.
Mm.
I was gonna say, Ness, I have that little, I think that little short little film. I was gonna just share it with everybody. I think of the documentary. I was
Yeah,
just
the
gonna put
teaser.
that. Yeah, let me see if I could share the screen here.
Thank you.
Let's see. You guys can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yes, I see it.
Bronx River was always surrounded in an air of mysticism.
So this is a documentary. This is the one that you're talking about, right?
It was the 10th division of the Black Spade Street Gang, which gave birth to the Bronx River Organization, which gave birth to the Zulu Nation, the Zulu Kings. Originally known as the Zulu Master, the Zulu Kings were formed with the sole intent of entering the TIP dance contest and talent show. TIP stood for Tremont Improvement Program. Out of that talent show, the original 5 Zulu Kings were formed. There would eventually be 11 Zulu Kings. To become a Zulu King, one had to dance against one of the original Zulu Kings and win. Charlie Rock was a 22nd Division Black Spade, danced against Zambu at 123, and after Bambaataa christened him the 11th Zulu King. Alien Ness, president of the mighty Zulu Kings.
Look at that young buck.
The mighty Zulu Kings under Ness is not an organization that performs or puts on performances. They're strictly a battling unit.
The definition of battle is war. I approach it as a warrior, as a soldier. The Zulu Kings motto, one of our mottos is, we battle for meat. If we don't win, we don't eat.
Street organizations like the Savage Nomads, the Black Spades, the Savage Skulls, and the Chingaling Nomads nurtured Ness. And Ness wears rings on his fingers representative of each one of these street organizations.
Africa Bambaataa told me straight up, yo, the leader of that crew, Rock Steady crew, is using you. You can't let him treat you like a yo-yo. He said, you have enough power to start your own thing. And I told them straight up, I don't want to start nothing. There's way too many
Look at that
crews
hair.
out there. When you would have named like
You actually had some.
you can't just create something. And I explained that, and Bambaataa just said, how about we give you Zulu Kings and you bring that back?
The Zulu Kings were formed in the mid-70s before the mighty Zulu Nation. They were the first ever organized b-boy crew and widely recognized for starting the b-boy boom. They're widely recognized as the blueprint with more than 30 chapters around the world.
Man, they put in the Chingalings is the ones I'm thinking of.
I like
Yeah,
Let me get a.
Old school boys right there, man. The Chingalings.
yeah. They got their history.
Oh, that they do, man. That they do that, and you know what? They never really expanded out of the Bronx, did they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they coast to coast.
Oh, they're coast to coast now. Holy cow!
Yeah, and they had some new chapters now in Arizona, I think. Also, yeah. Then in Puerto Rico.
Rock on, rock on. So, how was it getting into the scene back then, man? You had some hair.
back then it was pretty easy. I mean, back then we're going back to the early 80s, 81, 82. Everything and Mama was dancing. I mean, Bonnie Rubber was doing head spins on Fruity Pebbles because you couldn't escape it. You know what I'm saying? It's just Some people remain true to it, and other people took it for a fad. For me, it was a bread and butter, even at an early age. I was real fortunate to start getting work even at the age of 16 and stuff like that. I used to work like Carnival Cruise Line, going down to Aruba and things like that. So since the age of 15, 16 years old, it's always been occupation.
Rock on, man. You know what? Something in there, Wild on Twos, that none of these younger kids would have noticed. They wouldn't know what to do with themselves is the boombox, man. They wouldn't even know what that is right now.
I was talking to my stepdaughter about that. Just even about the old VHS cameras to the boombox to everything.
They wouldn't know nothing about that.
How to play
the earliest footage of me dancing is on YouTube. It was recorded with a VHS camera that you had to carry like a satchel. You had to carry the actual VCR with you as you would film it because it was still hot wired.
Right. So was it a natural progression getting into motorcycle riding?
It's always been appealing to me, attractive to me. The whole live free mentality. But being an educator in this dance and teaching the history of the dance, you keep going back, learning more and more and more. And to make a long story short, breaking comes from a dance called rocking, very outlaw, a very outlaw dance. And that comes from all the outlaw clubs, from New York City. And even today, I still meet so many people, even in my club, OGs that used to rock back in the days, So it was, the further back you go into learning the history of the dance, you're going to end up in the outlaw gang, the MC world, regardless,
Yeah, your club is from the 60s. I mean, it has a long history.
Yes. Started in 68 as a street gang, established 74 as an MC.
Yeah.
That is a lot of history right there.
Yeah, it's a lot of history, man.
But what got you into, say, Harleys, where a lot of other guys would go to, say, a Honda, Suzuki, something like that? What was the draw?
Hanging out with the people you hang out with. You know what I'm saying? When you hang out with a certain breed of people, and if it's meant to be, your taste and everything is gonna gradually be the same. It's like I would say about, if you work in McDonald's, if you hang out with businessmen all the time, you're gonna end up wearing a suit and tie almost every day. You know what I'm saying?
Very well said. Very well said. Was it an extension of what you found in dance to the biker community as far as, the brotherhood and stuff like that?
Basically, just me riding independent, it was the freedom. I always say there's only 3 times in life when you're totally free, and that's when you're dancing, when you're making love, or you're on that open road, 1 down, 6 up.
Well, I don't know, depending if, there's some freaks out there that are guys that like being subs. I don't know how free they are with that leash around their neck.
I don't know. When people call people dominant, I don't know.
Whatever rocks you steady.
I don't know, man. Wearing them, you ever see those plastic suits or something where them? I don't know, man. I'm getting off the subject here.
Sure, I'll be worried about you, Hollywood.
I'm telling you, man. What's the longest ride you've ever gone on, man? Have you ever gone on one of them old school trips where you just throw a rack on the back of your bike and just go?
My first trip on my bike was from Austin to New Mexico and back.
Oh, that's hard on the ass with a sporty. Woo!
Oh yeah, on my bike, especially my bike, I feel everything. My bike shake, rattles, and rolls.
That's what I did with my BSA, my BSA Classic. I rode from Florida to Chicago.
Holy shit!
Yeah, tell me. You tell me that. Oh yeah, I don't want to do that again.
Because the sporties, man, at highway speed, it's just blowing you every damn where. And the whining
everywhere.
at top end.
everywhere.
And through Texas, man, you get all the semi trucks in Texas, man. In Texas, the semi trucks will be blowing you everywhere.
Yes, they truly sway you, man. But it's kind of fun though. You know what I'm saying? It's fun.
Yeah, but when you get off that bike at the end of the day, you know you rode that bike.
Yeah, oh yeah. My back knew it too.
And you're walking like you just rode a bull.
So you say you're looking into the Dyna. Are you looking for an older one, or are you looking for a new one?
I'm really not sure yet. You know what I mean? I just been talking to upgrading. I want to upgrade. I don't want to get rid of my bike, but I would rather. I like the older bikes because, like, we already confirmed there's so much more you could do with it. But I want less headaches with my second bike, so
right.
I'm gonna see what comes up. Best deal. You know what I'm saying? And
it wasn't until a couple years ago when I finally got over carburetors. I said, "Oh, wait a second, this fuel injection's pretty cool." But that old always sticks with
you. I couldn't
you.
tell you.
Well, my first bike was a '77 Bonnie, man, Triumph.
Wow.
I love that. Yeah, it was great as a young kid, but now I would kill myself trying to kickstart that damn thing. So,
So I was gonna say, Ness, back in the day, a lot of the dance clubs they had like their leathers with patches and stuff. Very familiar to the MCs. Nowadays, people see that they'll start talking crap, like almost like you're Sons of Anarchy or something, not knowing history.
Yeah, well, what it is especially in New York has something that never existed anywhere in the world, and that was the three-piece patch bikes. If you go back to like the gangs, Savage Gnome, Savage Skulls, Black Spades, Ghetto Brothers, Dirty Ones, all the old gangs wore patches and vests. So that's something I could found didn't exist anywhere but in New York City.
No, because in Chicago we used to wear sweaters.
Yeah. We used to have sweater gangs. We had sweater gangs too.
Oh yeah, that was big here in Chicago. But it looks like you were going to a bowling night or something. You look back and you're like, shit, we wore that. But that's right. Wild On too. A lot of people don't know the history, and it is a regional and a local thing. And New York City has a big type of culture to it that is unto its own.
And that's the funny thing, because you'll see people on internet start making comments about, let's say they saw the video and they're going to start making, look at this dance crew acting like they're an MC, and they're not even in MC, like people commenting just because they heard someone else on YouTube say, hey, only 1%ers can wear three-piece patches or patches. They don't know history and how long that's actually been before many clubs have even existed.
Yeah. Well, my kids, we all pretty much knew what we was getting into, but we were all knuckleheads. That was actually part of when I was building Zulu. The formula was trying to find guys like me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to use cliche terms, but more of the at-risk youth, the knuckleheads, the game. But if you got talent, then that was the hook for me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what if I tell you could be as gangster as you want to be and the world will love you for it, and you'll make money and don't get crime. I was on my John Connor shit. Come with me if you want to live. But don't get it twisted. Especially Zulu Kings, they're a dance group, but they're all street cats. They angels. I'd like to believe I saved a lot of lives. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
A lot of clubs do, actually. I mean, there's a lot of MCs that people don't realize were developed from gangs themselves. And usually it's the next step up to an organized family for a lot of these young youth that were in gangs. They leave the gang, but then they find structure, and an MC has more structure than a street gang does.
Mm-hmm. A lot more structure.
and it keeps them out of. I know more people in MCs that have been stayed away from prison, away from drugs, away from drinking because of the MC. And a lot of people don't know.
It's not just structure, but it's also discipline. It comes with a certain discipline. You know what I'm saying? And that discipline helps people stay out of trouble.
That it does. Well, when you're talking about the history, it's kind of, well, I know it's New York City and stuff, but some of these clubs had dance crews. That is just, that's history right there. You know, something we would have never known today unless we talked to somebody like you.
Well, you look. There's a MC in New York City called Filthy Mad Dogs, FMD. They started out as floor master dancers. There was a dance crew.
Oh, that's cool shit.
And now they're an MC, you know, back to the 70s and even, and probably a little further than that. I'm really not sure on the history, but they was a dance crew when they first came out. I mean, anybody that's interested in learning more and trying to understand that, I have a friend of mine, he has a website called Classic New York City Street Gangs. And information, and he covers so much history and so many different clubs that it's amazing. I give him a lot of respect for all the information that he's been able to gather and pictures and things of that nature.
Now, during the 80s, we're talking about the height of the crack and all that type of stuff. How much did you guys work with the community centers to bring these kids away from that crap?
Not
What's up?
Back then, not me.
Not you?
Back then, I wasn't an angel. You know what I mean? I used to go on tours with big rap artists and come back and try to double up my money. But
running the hustle, man.
Nowadays, that is a big part of the dance community. A lot of dancers have found a lot of benefits and pleasures of working for the community and things of that nature. And I think it's a good thing. It's gotten for the better, you know.
I was gonna say, what's the history behind Kid Ness and Alien Ness?
Kid is who I was in the 80s, and I stopped dancing in 86. Actually, always kept Ness, you know. And one time around the 90s, Africa Bambaataa had said if aliens came to Earth and started, they would probably dance like me. You know, I have this really elongated, floating type of footwork that I pull out every now and then. It's almost, you know, gravity type shit. So he was the first one that came up with that Ale moniker. And then after that, we was part of we had a little crew. My boy TC Islam, may he rest in peace. He tried to put together a stage show with, it was TC Islam, the DJ, the funky DJ alien, Supernatural, the lyrical alien. Shout out to Supernatural. And of course, Ness, the B-boy alien. And then just the alien stuck.
Okay. Yeah, I knew there's a lot of history to that. So what's your next steps, though? You know, because you still judge, you said, and what's your next steps, and what do you want to do?
Ooh, man, I just want this series to come out. I'm not tied anymore to any of the, you know, publicity stuff. I'm still judging, you know, I just got back from Arizona a few weeks before that. I was out in California, you know, for the red carpet event. It was probably my third time in California this year. I just sit home and wait for the bookings to come, really.
Yeah.
That stuff drive you crazy, man, with all the red carpet deals?
With all the what?
It's a different type of people that you're around compared to what you're used to. You know, the ones with their nose in the air, everybody's better to you type of stuff.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I pay them people no mind. You know, I've eaten with politicians. I took the Prime Minister of Bolivia, you know, on a date. I've done it all. You know, people turning up their nose, it is what it is. Let them talk. Haters are going to hate. You can show the world that you can walk on water, and they're going to say it's because you can't swim. So I really can't. I really can't focus my energy on other people's opinions of me because I really don't give a fuck. You know, to be honest, I just do what I gotta do. As long as it's beneficial to me and my family. You know, as long as my brothers support it and love what I do, I couldn't care less about anybody else.
Yeah. Did you say
And
anything about a book or anything?
Yeah, I'm on my second book. Actually, I decided my second book I'm gonna give it away free. I'm a ebook and just let people download that for free because you know the love that I got in the first one has been so overwhelming. I like to give something back sometimes, so the second one's gonna be free. I just haven't really had time to get back into it, but it's halfway done right now.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
You know your younger self is probably going to smack the shit out of you for saying give it away for free, right?
or my actually, when I told my manager, he said, "Yo, that's hot." So,
Well,
That's
that
good.
is.
It might bring more opportunities,
hmm
It's karma, it comes right back to you.
So is
yeah.
the rest of the guys real supportive of you?
Excuse me.
The rest of the guys supportive of you? All your
Oh, in my
friends and all
club,
that?
yes, yes. My friends, my family supportive. The club is amazingly supportive. You know, when I came into the club, a lot of brothers didn't know what I was about. And I really don't talk about it. I don't brag or anything. But, you know, as things started progressing, as time goes on, people start realizing and then they start seeing you, you know, videos pop up or my name pops up. Or when I ask people, hey, I got to move to Netflix, it's like, where did this shit come from? But yeah, the club very supportive of me. Support.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, and that's when I say the club, I mean coast to coast, the entire nation. I get so much love. It's amazing. You know, I sometimes I don't even think I deserve it, brothers, but I'm here for a reason, so it is what it is.
What's the series on Netflix again?
The one that's on Netflix right now is not a series; it's a film. It's called Iron Fist and Kung Fu Kicks.
Kung Fu Kicks. Yeah, that's what we were talking about before the show. You know, the old Kung Fu movies where they talk about 2 minutes later in English. That was so fun. That was
And then
it
your
Yeah,
entertained us.
and then your series
and
coming out
and
now,
fly over mountains.
the one I played the
Yeah, yeah,
documentary of.
yeah. The series is called "You Can Race Me," and it's basically a lot of hip hop icons that had changed the game, but the game isn't giving them the shine that they should be having. You know, so we go back to we got Special K of the Treacherous Three. His he changed. People are still trying to in rap. People are still trying to catch up to what he did time ago. Oh, my bad, gentlemen. Give me 1 minute.
That's
No, it's that I keep sending me text after text. Am I
Hey, don't
back
worry.
on?
You remind us of a guy named BD. He always screws up. Don't worry about it.
he's the best
Now I
heavyweight.
can't get my cam back on.
Oh, we can hear you.
All right. Well, all of a sudden I can't get my cam back on. It's
That's what
weird.
BD should do. He shouldn't be on camera. He should just hear his voice.
Oh, well, I'm an ugly motherfucker anyway.
So is that series going to be on Netflix as well?
Right now it's being shot. I can't say much, actual obligations, but I could say there's some different networks that's very much interesting. You know, we just had our red carpet executive producer was red carpet event, which we was trying to keep on the low in the past, but it was announced, so that's no secret. Howard on board. You know, if anybody knows who that is, he was in the first Iron Man movie. He played Rhodes, and Hustle and Flow. He's got.
Man, his phone's all messed up. Wow, Dan.
You look like you're with the strobe lights now.
I'm trying to give y'all a club feel.
No, that's awesome, man. It's always great having you, man, because I mean, there's so much history to you, and you're so humble. And
Thank you
so
very much. Thank you.
And very well spoken, wealth of knowledge. I mean, I wish the youth can see this and learn from you.
That's because you haven't seen me full of jack.
Probably see you, man. Well, I heard the cowboy.
Rock on, man. Well, cool, man. It was awesome talking to you. I can't wait to check out your stuff, and you're always welcome here on my channel, and whenever you got your series coming out, get on, let us know about it, man.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Hey Ness, where can people catch you? Do you have like Instagram? Do you have a Facebook, a YouTube channel? Do you have anything that you want?
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. Damn, I forgot the name, but I mean, Alien Ness. If you just Google it or run a search on YouTube,
type in Alien Ness.
You're gonna find it. Yeah, Alien Ness, you'll find it. The Instagram is BX all one word. And that's about it. The Instagram and the YouTube is the best. Of course, there's a Facebook page, but I get so busy sometimes I can't get back to Facebook. I've been really bad at that.
I'm bad with everything. I think the only thing I do okay is YouTube. Other than that, my Instagram sucks. I don't do shit. Facebook, I don't do much. I'm
Rock on, man. And I'm going to be heading over to the round table, and it was awesome talking with you, man. Good stuff. We're gonna have to do a show just me and you talking boxing, man. So
sure. I'm gonna reach out. Actually, Wild could give you my information if that's okay, and reach out to me.
Cool.
And I gamble too. So bring your wallet.
There we go, man.
Hey, I used to play professional poker for years, man. I would love to play poker with anybody.
You notice how he said he used to, so he must not have been any damn good.
Actually, I paid one of my degrees playing poker, and then I made a decision. I was supposed to move to Vegas at it's like a poker house with multiple players, and you pay a percentage of rent from your winnings. And I was going to go do that, but then I picked the road of more stability. But then in Texas, there's not poker. Poker is illegal. Like there's no even in the dog tracks. There's no poker, so it's not like in Tampa and St. Petersburg. I was in the dog track 5 days a week from like 3 p.m. till close playing poker, man.
Right, man. But you could just ride to Vegas.
Yeah, sure. Ride to Vegas. Very fun. Let me just get out of Texas through freaking New Mexico, Arizona.
Yes, sir.
I'll just fly there. It'll be fun. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Alien Ness. Hollywood will be at Roundtable at Black Dragons channel. So if you guys want to go catch that, go to Black Dragons. Till next week, much love and respect. Peace.
Rock on.